Let's face it, most of us were not taught to rest. We were applauded for being booked and busy, um, hustle till we die, grind or go home, sleep is the cousin of death. All of these negative narratives that keep us spinning in autopilot, spinning in going, and not allowing time for rest. But what if the truth is that stillness, quiet, is where your most brilliant ideas lie. The peace that you've been seeking lies. The ability to stop overthinking, overproducing, laying in perfectionism, swimming in procrastination. What if that lands in being still? Today's episode is all about hiding in the hustle and how oftentimes it's applauded and it looks like success, so no one will question it. But that's what I'm here to do today. I'm Tiffany Yvonne. I'm a life and leadership coach. I help people win at work, succeed at home, and design lives and careers that they absolutely love. I'm a mama, a speaker, a culture strategist, and I just kicked off this YouTube channel to really help people stop surviving success and start designing success. So, is that you? Have you ever been hiding in the hustle? Well, it was certainly me. I used to run a youth sports camp for a number of years, helping children kind of do the same things, play to win, use the power of play and athletics to really win on the court, in the classroom, and in their communities. And there came a point in time where I decided to step away from that work and stop pouring everything out into others and to truly pour back into myself. In order to do that, I launched a brand called She Plays to Win. Now, that's a telltale sign of how much of an overachiever, overworker, perfectionist I can be, because if you realize you're giving too much away, why do you need to launch a brand? But that's how I did it. The brand was called She Plays to Win, and it was really to help busy, ambitious women um, pause so that we could plan. And that's how we play to win. And so when I launched this brand, it wasn't just, something I was going to pop on the internet and talk about. It had to have a full branding plan. I was working with a marketing genius out of Atlanta, and she helped me create a photo shoot. And I had models for the photo shoot. And we had this whole marketing plan of how we were going to make this a business, because obviously I wasn't the only one suffering in silence and on the brink of burnout, but there were other busy, ambitious women, many of whom were mothers of the children that were in my camp, and just friends all around who were really selling our souls for success. And so I launched this whole plan. We had brand colors, we had a brand photo shoot, we were road tripping to Atlanta, had a huge social media campaign to kick it off, a live event, and all the things. Doesn't sound like rest, does it? Right? It wasn't. And so during one of these trips, I was really close with the person who was doing my marketing, and I was staying over by her house, and we would sit on the couch, and she's a huge TV buff, and I never watched TV. And so she'd be like, "We're gonna watch this movie. It's gonna be good. You're gonna like it." Da 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 da. So I was like, "Okay." Undoubtedly, every time I would sit on the couch with her to watch a show, I would be asleep in record time. And one day she said to me, "I bet the only time you rest is when you sleep." And I was thinking, when do other people rest? I didn't even know that it was a thing. Um, and so when I got back home, I went to the gym, and I go to Orange Theory for the gym. If you've never been, it's a gym that they use a heart rate monitor, and it is the heart rate is based on the color coded system. Blue means you're resting, green means you're coasting, yellow means you're like getting fired up and ready to go, and red means you're running full blown speed, like to exhaustion. And so I think I was in the red zone, and I was getting it. I was getting it. And something said to me, it was intuition, said to me, you get to leave, but you do not get to run. You get to leave, but you do not get to run. And I was like, well, what does that even mean? And it was really my secret signal to myself saying, you can only stay in this red zone for so long. When you're in the red zone, your heart rate is above, I think, 96 and, close to 100. And you can't stay in that red zone very long. Even when they are coaching the workouts, that's called an all out. So when you're going at your all out speed, that means the fastest you can possibly go. When you get to that, you only stay in there for like 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. If they're wilding, 45 seconds, but then you got to pull it back. You got to pull it back to the yellow. I don't know if it's yellow or orange. I think it's orange. You got to pull it back to the orange zone because that's a pace that's still in the paint. You're still putting forth effort, but it's manageable, it's sustainable, it's doable. And what I realized, I used to do this series called Leadership Laps. What I realized, because I would get a lot of downloads or aha moments when I was on the treadmill, was that I was living my life in the red zone. And even though I had just stepped back from one business to pour into myself, I had hopped right back into the red zone with She Plays to Win. Just really, it had to be perfect. Again, hopping to save not just myself, but other women along the way. And while that can be noble, the first person that we must be responsible for, the first person that we must lead before we can lead anyone else is ourselves. And so in the process of unpacking and unearthing and unlearning and really becoming a life and leadership coach and using those methodologies in my own life, really being my own first client, I came up with a process that I called PPP. And it's something that I talk about in my TED Talk as well. And that is, no, it's not the pandemic loans that everybody got. This PPP stands for pause, plan, play to win. And when you realize that there is power in the pause, you can stop hiding in the hustle. You can stop running on autopilot. You can back off of the red zone and get into the orange, the green, and the blue zone and realize that rest is not laziness. Rest is not failure, but rest is a leadership success strategy that allows you the fuel kind of pulls you back, right? People don't ever want to pause or rest because they feel like they're losing time. At least that's how I felt. Time is the most valuable asset. You can't get it back. But that pause, that rest, that blue zone allows you the opportunity to kind of pull back so that you can catapult forward. And so in that way, we have to be cognizant of where are you living your life in the red zone? Where are you overperforming? Where are you going nonstop? And what is your body trying to tell you that you're just not listening to because you have it all dressed up as the only road to success, right? What might be possible for you if you decided to take an intentional pause? An intentional pause. There will be things in life that happen that will be an unintentional pause. COVID. If you've been around my stories anytime, if you listen to my YouTube or my Instagram, you'll know I'm a breast cancer survivor. So that was an unintentional pause. When we do not make time for wellness, for rest, for stillness, for quiet, our bodies will force us to make time for illness, disease, aches, pains, stress, silent killers in our bodies. And so the major question today is, where are you hiding in your hustle? And what might be possible if you made an intentional decision to believe that there was power in the pause? And you made the intentional decision to take that pause. What might be different? What might come up for you? So if you are just a person watching, I'd love for you to drop that in the comments. or just journal and reflect on it. But if you are a leader, a people leader, an event planner, I want you to know that this is not just a personal problem. This is not just a Tiffany problem. This is what I see every single day in organizations when, and not just women, but when leaders in general pour out from an empty cup. They do it all. They don't delegate to their teams. They're unwilling to give courageous feedback because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. They let it build up, the resentment build up until they finally just burst, right? And they're on the brink of burnout. I tease them and say that the only gift you get for doing it all is that people let you. The only gift you get for doing it all is that people let you. And that is at work, at home, or within. And so, again, people don't question it because it's dressed up as success. It's applauded, it's rewarded, right? But standing in the awareness, getting still enough, getting quiet enough, finding your own blue zone so that you can pause is really how you create a plan that is sustainable. And that's how you play to win. I'm Coach Tiffany. I'm going to be dropping 3 episodes a week, 10 minutes with Coach Tiff, to give you a tiny shift, a tiny mindset shift. I'm actually writing a book. Here is my draft copy. It is sitting with editors right now. It's called On My Shift. It's 99 lessons that 99 life and leadership lessons that cancer taught me. And really, it wasn't just cancer, but all along the way, the road to and the road from cancer, just bound in this book around little tiny shifts. So today's shift: how can you stop hiding in the hustle and give yourself permission to pause? Coach Tiff out. I got one more episode to drop this week. I will see y'all in episode 6.